Recording in progress. Welcome to MVP Office Hours, September 22nd, 2023. We are a week out from Dreamforce 2023. And I think we had a few people that are on the call that were at Dreamforce that I got to see in person. I was really excited to see. Welcome, everybody. We're very, very excited you're here. As you may or may not know, MVP Office Hours runs on the first and third Friday most months, unless we send out some wild announcement saying, whoa, we got stuff going on, like release readiness or, holidays and that sort of thing. You can find Dale and myself and Squire all on LinkedIn. You can also still find MVP Office Hours on Twitter. But the best place to find us is the Success Community because, well, that way you can get all of your questions answered. There is an email address. Please don't use that. It'll eventually get to us, but your best bet is to crowdsource at the community. Next slide, please, sir. Our next call is October 6th. It's Friday. 1 second. Our format is an open Q&A. You can always register at the bit.ly/MVPOH, and we have our recordings in the community and on YouTube. Our favorite hashtags, Problem Solve Together, Community Learner, and MVPOH. We do ask that everybody share your experience, insights, and recommendations with the group. We're all MVPs here. I need all of you. Being here with you today is like a great big hug. I really appreciate it. If you have a question, post it in the chat, please, because that helps us keep track of who got their first time, date, stamps, and all. You can raise your hand or thumbs up or heart reactions as we go. Feel free to post any related links, resources, and answers in the chat. We do recommend sharing your screen if you have a question, but please, 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 please do not share private data or information from your employer. We are recording the session. We want to have a good time and be informal, but we do ask that we keep it professional and positive because the internet's forever and your jobs are important.
Professional.
Stuart, hold the phone. Community events. Highly recommend community events. If you haven't been to a community event, I really want you to get there. This is like a mini tiny taste of a community event, but we want you to get to the bigger places also. Upcoming, we've got Northeast Dreamin'. That is October 5th. Florida Dreamin', October 22nd. Mar Dreamin' is virtual November 1st, and Nonprofit Dreamin' is in Chicago on November 1st. I'll be at Nonprofit Dreamin' in Chicago. I don't know if I'll be there both days, but I'll definitely be there. And then upcoming Salesforce events. You guys, I heard a rumor and I really want it to be true, so I'm going to speak it out loud. Chicago World Tour in December, but I don't have documentation yet. So I have 2 different sources giving me the same information. And so look out for the world tours coming through to a city near you.
Just confirmed. Salesforce World Tour, Minneapolis, November.
Nice. I like it. So we do have Minneapolis in November then. Excellent. So get there because that's free. Yeah, really.
Hey, I'll be there.
Really. Yeah,
That's
get
awesome.
there. Community groups and in-person virtual, the links are on the screen. We hope to see you everywhere. And if Squire or myself or Dale or anyone that you see on these calls, oh, look at that, it's really in writing.
Yeah, there's words on the screen. Wow.
The magic of copy paste. Thank you, Andrew.
Also, Minneapolis is going to be about less than 300 people. So I mean, don't feel like crazy excited.
I don't know.
It'll be all right. It'll be all right. Anyway,
it's an essential.
It'll still be fun.
The fire marshal will keep you.
Stop it. Mute them all.
Sorry, I'm gonna shut up.
So the cool thing about this though is that get to the community group thing so we can see you in person because Dale, Squire, and I, and everyone that's on the call would love to see you in person. Definitely tap me on the shoulder, spin me around, say, hey, I want to talk to you. Next slide. And wow, that slide's going to get some work. I'm so excited about the world tour. Resources, we have links on our Trailblazers community page. But the things that we mentioned during the call, we're going to plug into the spreadsheet, PowerPoint. Diane, how are you, Diane?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm so glad you're here. Do you want to talk to us about this question?
Sure. Yeah. So we currently use an application called DNV Optimizer, which is a Dun & Bradstreet tool. They're retiring this. They have to there's a reason why Salesforce is retiring like Lightning Data or something. And so for that reason, they've had to move to this new app called D&B Connector. And our company has been struggling because we only really want accounts in our database that we really need in our database. So we don't have a lot of fluff. I'm shocked. I've worked at so many companies where they'll import anything.
Right.
But this company is very particular about their data. And what we're having a trouble with is, getting the right information on our accounts automatically. Because D&B Optimizer is so detailed, and we just don't have all those details, all those accounts in our system. So I was just hoping that maybe somebody uses a different tool to optimize or enrich their data. We're looking to make sure we know who the ultimate parent is, get NAICS information, industry and description, number of employees, revenue, those types of things. Anybody?
I've only
We
used
went to
D&B
D2.
Optimizer.
What's that?
I said I've only used D&B Optimizer, so I haven't used the new connector or the new one.
Okay. All right.
I don't know
I
all the
think you-
details. Oh, I'm sorry. I
That's all
don't know
right.
all the details about it, but I know our commercial division is using a product called Zoom Info that
Okay.
integrates with Salesforce.
We do use Zoom Info, but I thought that was contact specific. And not
Yeah,
really.
they've added some company information to it also.
Oh, okay.
Throwing it out there.
Don't know if it will fulfill your needs, but
So
It's
what
not.
about the Salesforce ERI tool? Does that help you at all?
So what?
Salesforce ERI, it's enriched relationship insights or something like that. It's like an AI add-on that I think does a lot of, I don't know if it actually does record specific cleanup, but it helps pull in external data and help support it. I'm trying to find the link right now.
Prompt Builder is going to allow it. Like it's going to be a feature of when the rest of like the Einstein 1 or whatever we're calling it today thing, it's going to have a thing where you can have fields to enrich fields with Salesforce, like using the Einstein stuff. But
And is that the stuff that's tied to the data cloud enrichment path, or are you talking about external enrichment?
external, so they're going to have it where like you can it'll have like a little thingy next to fields where you can, when you click it, like it can run like a prompt in Prompt Builder stuff. So it's part of like the whole generative AI thing. So you can like add account descriptions, but also it's supposedly it's going to be able to pull like public data to put in fields. So I think like sick code, stuff like that. But it's not out yet.
Okay. Is there any information that we can look at?
Let me try and
Okay.
see if I can find a link to it.
I'm sorry. I'd appreciate it.
No, sorry. That's what we're here for.
By the way, I just want to mention that I did Salesforce Plus and I got to see a lot of you on TV.
Diane, can I ask you a little bit more about your org or your business, should I say that? Like, tell what kind of business are you in?
We produce software. We're in supply chain logistics. So our focus is on transportation management software. So if you think about any company that ships any product anywhere in the world, we are a software provider for that type of business.
Okay, thank you. What I did, because if you had answered like that you're in the nonprofit or education world, I would have answered the question a little bit different and said there's tools like Wealth Engine out there, and so I just mentioned that for if there are any people on the nonprofit side that would supply that kind of information to their contacts and donors and that sort of thing. So I just Googled the words sales intelligence software. And it brings back a bunch of sponsored links that I know work with Salesforce. And then down below it talks about other applications like Zoom Info. LinkedIn has their own application that I think also does interact with Salesforce, and then
We
there's a,
use Sales Navigator.
yep, Sales
already
Navigator,
too.
sure. And
It's
there's-
mainly to enrich contacts again, though. We're looking at really account information. Just helps us segment our database better if we have like, and we run automation off of these fields like NAICS industry. Depending on the industry and the revenue, it gets put into a certain tier, and you know, we run marketing programs off of it, and you know, we have a whole bunch of things built off of the data that we're collecting. We're just having a hard time. Like every time we add new accounts, we're manually matching them to DMB. And it's like, what's the point of having this optimizer if we have to go in and manually, you know, practically look up this stuff ourselves? So
Yep.
it's just not working very well for us. And we went to G2 and we got some other, you know, ideas about vendors. I was just hoping that maybe someone here on this call was using something that they might be able to say, you know, works really well for them.
Diane, I can tell you, I use ZoomInfo, and it does have NAICS code and SIC codes for companies as well as all the contact info. I actually think ZoomInfo is like kind of growing quite a bit. They actually bought the Field Trip app on the App Exchange, and they have a bunch of other stuff that is really designed for like headhunter salespeople, but it does have that type of information. And if you get the more like, you know, the enterprise level licenses, it'll sync automatically for you. Like it'll keep your records up to date.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent.
Diane, have you reached out to your AE? There might be some sort of platinum partner that Salesforce is actually recommending.
No, but I actually have a meeting with them this afternoon, so I'll mention it.
Yeah, I mean, in the old days, they push you toward whatever Jitterbit was when the Salesforce connector was there. Was that just called Salesforce Data? But they don't have that anymore. So I'm sure that there's got to be something that they're being told to sell, right? So
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, we need, excellent.
Todd, do you have updates?
Questions? Do we have any questions? Todd, are you
No,
there?
I'm off mute. Yes, I do.
Tell us.
So a few sessions ago, I'd asked about the change from enterprise to unlimited.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got a little update. We went up on unlimited almost 2 months ago, and EAC has not been functioning properly since. So we're 46 days into an open case. Had a rather strongly worded conversation yesterday and finally got support management on the phone, and they decided to open an investigation with R&D to try to get to the root of the problem.
Oh, Todd, what was the strong words that you used?
And suddenly my email is lighting up today. I've got all kinds of folks working on this issue. Yeah, 46 days with no EAC that our users have come to depend upon.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
So, item number 2 is I asked about Hyperforce a couple sessions ago. I got an email that we will be upgraded in November.
Yep.
It will be turned on automatically.
Yeah, that's the standard message. It's just about whether you want to do it or not, right? We had to actually request a delay on one of our orgs so we were prepared for the work that went into it. So have you done your Hyperforce Assistant work yet?
Haven't even clicked the button the first time. Been fighting with EAC
Right. Sure.
and a few other issues.
Don't wait to do that work. Get it on your roadmap, because it's been hit or miss from what I've heard, that sometimes there's almost no work, and then in some cases there's a ton of work, and you definitely don't want to be sitting there the weekend before the cutover wondering how you're going to get through it all.
Okay, I appreciate that comment. Yeah, when I get these kind of messages, I usually try to get on them right away. So that's kind of what I did when they said Process Builder was going away. So I was done way before that quit being available.
That's good. It's good. Not everyone gets to do that. So
yep, that's all I have right now.
I'm real curious as far as your conversion. Are they giving you any inkling about why the EAC disconnection is happening?
No clue. All I know is we've done the same test about half a dozen times now. They first came back and said we're going to have to offboard everyone and bring them all back on, which means trying to get over 200 users to go click the accept terms of service again,
Right.
which we know they'd all just jump out there at a heartbeat and click that button.
Yep.
So I said, you can tell if they've got TOS, go reset them. But we've never done that. I said, and now you have an opportunity. So that's what they've been trying to find, is a way to do this without disrupting my entire user base and making them do something, and us following up for the next 6 months on why is EAC not working? Did you click the button?
Hey Todd, I sent you a message on LinkedIn. If you want, or I sent you a connection. If you want to accept it, I can add you to like a Slack group that
Okay.
has Sales Cloud people in it that might love to chat with you.
Okay. I'll go out and look for that here in a bit. But
And also,
yeah, it's just been a painful experience so far.
Yeah.
so for what it's worth, I went back in our archive of slide decks and found, so July 21st, we spent about 5 minutes talking about it. I don't know if that's a recording you want to go back. Like, I want to say, I don't see anything that we notated, but I want to say we found something or some things that things are automatically enabled or disabled in a conversion to unlimited. Like, maybe just absolutely sure you checked all the, like, that you checked all of those. I don't know. I have a feeling that that's not applicable if it's gotten this deep into Salesforce's like R&D and everything like that. But I don't know. It's just something sticking in my brain that I know we rattled off a few things in that conversation a couple of months ago. So
Okay.
July 21st was the date of that meeting when you first brought it.
Okay.
By the way, Dale knew that off
Love
the
that
top of his head. He didn't have to go look. He knows everything encyclopedic
Oh,
about
cool.
the meeting. Yeah, it's super cool. It's kind of creepy actually, because he can just rattle stuff off like that.
Well, I do know when the upgrade happened, a lot of our licenses went away and I had to start
Mhm.
redoing permission sets. And
That might have been what it was that we talked about, actually, now that I think about it.
yeah. So now most of my permission sets say blah, blah, blah included on the end of them.
Mhm.
But I've checked those multiple times. We've tried putting them, assigning them individually to users, replacing them in the groups. We've even created a new permission set group and put them in there and assigned that to users, and it's hit and miss. It's interesting because the events actually hit the calendar, but the emails don't come through. And things like that. So, and it works for some accounts and not others.
When you say they don't come through, are they in the EAC database but not displaying in the CRM? Or they don't think at all?
Support hasn't shared that exactly.
Okay.
They're seeing that basically, from what I understand, the emails have been scanned from Outlook, but they're not appearing like they should. And they have no clue right now whether it's a permission issue, a permission set, permission group. My question was, why do we wait 5 weeks to open an investigation? And the answer was crickets.
Yeah.
So my brain is so mush right now that the only thing I could think of is I'm picturing a mental movie that when Salesforce upgraded you from enterprise to unlimited, part of that conversion had revert quick create back to on, and that's what gummed up everything. That is where my brain is right now. Not fun being in my brain. It's not helpful, but it's just something that I imagine.
All right. Well, I'll bring you an update in the next month or so when they get it fixed.
Yeah.
Please, please, please.
Fantastic. I think we've, like, I don't know.